The first time I heard that the HOA wanted to build a road across my property, I thought someone had misunderstood the development plans. There was already an existing road that connected the neighborhood to the highway. My land sat outside the main residential area, and there was no reason anyone would need to build another road across it. Then I drove out to the field. There were survey stakes everywhere. Bright orange markers stretched from one side of my property to the other. I followed them and realized exactly where the proposed road would run. Straight through my land. I contacted the HOA president. She told me it was part of a future community expansion project. I said they couldn't build a road there. She told me they had an access easement. I asked to see it. She sent me an old document. The paper was faded and difficult to read. It supposedly granted the community access across my property. I took it to my attorney. He studied it carefully. Then he pointed out something important. The document didn't clearly describe the road the HOA wanted to build. It referenced an old access route. We needed the original record. My attorney ordered a historical title search. That search led us into the county archives. The relevant document was almost 80 years old. It had been recorded long before the current subdivision existed. The original document described the access route in detail. And when we compared it with the HOA's proposed road, there was a major difference. The old access route ended at a completely different boundary. The HOA's proposed road went much farther. They were trying to stretch an old access agreement into a right to build an entirely new road. The surveyor confirmed the same thing. The original property description was clear. The road the HOA wanted wasn't included. We notified the association. They refused to stop. Construction equipment was scheduled to arrive within weeks. My attorney filed an emergency request. The court temporarily blocked construction. At the hearing, the HOA argued that the old access document gave the community broad rights. My attorney presented the original record. The judge read it carefully. Then he asked the HOA attorney to identify the exact language authorizing the proposed road. The attorney couldn't. The document didn't say it. The HOA tried another argument. They claimed the road was necessary for community safety. The judge said necessity didn't automatically create ownership rights. The association then argued that the developer had always intended to create another access route. Again, the judge asked for documentation. None existed. The 80-year-old record ended the dispute. The court ruled that the HOA could not construct the road across my land. The survey stakes were removed. The project was abandoned, but the discovery went even deeper. The historical record showed that the developer had known about the access limitation when the subdivision was originally planned. That meant the restriction wasn't a recent technicality. It had been there from the beginning. The HOA simply hadn't bothered to investigate the full history. They saw an old access document and assumed it gave them more authority than it actually did. I kept a certified copy of that 80-year-old record. It became one of the most valuable pieces of paper I had ever owned. Every time I walk across the field where the road was supposed to go, I think about how close the HOA came to changing my property permanently. They had contractors ready. They had maps. They had survey stakes. They had a construction plan. What they didn't have was the legal right to build there. And the document that stopped them had been sitting in a county archive for nearly 80 years. Sometimes property disputes aren't decided by who speaks the loudest. They're decided by who can find the oldest document that tells the truth.